Good Friday evening. How are you, friends and neighbors? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. I, of course, am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver. And how the heck are you this evening? I hope you're doing great, because I'm doing fantastic on this Friday evening. Greetings, Wave of Mutilation and Ian Bartosh Wise. Good to see you all, and I hope you're doing well. Again, I'm doing just fine. There's something I want to jump right out in front of right now, and I've been meaning to share this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So, I know that in recent past there's been a little bit of drama following some nonsense with TSR3 and all, and that, so on and etc. And we're not talking about that tonight. Okay, I just want to set that aside. If you think that anything I'm about to say has any part to do with it other than saying it doesn't, you're wrong. But if you're not on Facebook and you don't follow this stuff around, good morning to everyone from the future. Actually, you're an Australian, so it would be the future. Anyway. No, if you're at all a fan of classic Dungeons & Dragons, AD&D, the world of Greyhawk, does that sound familiar? Does that ring a bell with anyone? Then I would say you are almost automatically default a fan of the artwork of the artist Darlene, as she simply signed her beautiful, influential, moving pieces in many, many products for TSR, for Dungeons & Dragons. She lives in quite frankly, a beautiful house that is in need of some TLC, and she has started a GoFundMe that's almost funded. It's currently sitting at $13,755. I threw in a little bit. I had a little bit. I was able to throw in a very little bit. I'm not going to make a big deal out of this, but if you get a chance, if you don't know about this, if you haven't contributed, there is the GoFundMe right there in the chat. Please consider donating to it, even if it's just a few bucks. She almost has all the money she needs to get this 121-year-old home completely restored. And I'll read her. I'll read her pitch, and then we'll move on. But she says, Queen Anne is dying. She was born in 1901 in a small town in North Carolina. I'm doing all I can to save her, but I need your help. I'm a retired artist whose claim to fame is being the first woman artist for Dungeons & Dragons. That's not exactly true. Deb Larson did the cover of Eldritch Wizardry before, I think. Now, if Darlene did other work for TSR in the strategic review and on, I apologize for that, but that's the only thing. She says, choosing a life devoted to art cost me financial security. I've always lived close to the bone and have no means to help her. Queen Anne is my house, a Victorian lady in serious trouble. Your contribution will help repair her windows so she can see, remove her overgrown vines, bushes, and branches. They scratch her. A new roof, her hair is falling out, along with mold remediation from a leak, the result of her tears, and a new coat of paint to protect her skin and restore her beautiful face. Although her foundation is sound and she's paid for, Queen Anne sadly faces a point of no return. Repairs need to be done ASAP while they can still be easily managed. Also, the town is after her, insisting she be brought up to what they call minimum standards. They mostly don't like to see windows without sills, thus my immediate need. And the amount I'm asking will take care of the minimum requirements so I'm not in trouble with the town. Anything over this will help defray the cost of a new roof and hopefully a paint job. I hold out the hope someday soon she will again be the beautiful Southern belle she once was. Won't you help me refurbish this grand dame? So, if you've got a few extra dollars, you can throw Darlene's way. that'd be very cool of you. So that is most of the drama that you'll get from me tonight. Just check out our GoFundMe. And if you got a extra tenner or something, send it Darlene's way. So anyway, we have a big week next week. If for no other reason than because we're going to have the one and only Alan Hammock will be with us on Monday night. We're going to get back into our deep dives of classic modules, classic D&D products. And we are going to take a look at Ghost Tower of Inverness, C2 Ghost Tower of Inverness. And for the first time in all of our deep dives, and it may be the last time, we've actually got the author with us. And it's going to be so much fun because we've had Alan on the show before, and we're going to talk about that great classic module, underrated in my opinion, in my own humble opinion. But we are going to talk to him about the nuances and everything with the Ghost Tower of Inverness. So please do check out Ghost Tower of Inverness with us and with Alan here to talk to us about its history, its creation, why it's called that, and all sorts of other fun stuff. Don't miss Monday. One little thing I can tell, I'm sorry, I'm parched. One little thing I can tell you before we get to the deep dive of it is I suspected from a young age that the Ghost Tower of Inverness was based on the story The Vanishing Tower by Michael Moorcock. It is an Elric story where basically Elric meets up with some of his multiversal fellows, Corum and I think Hawkmoon and Elric all journey through the Vanishing Tower. And the story is told in the Elric and Hawkmoon and Corum novels from their respective heroes' point of view. But interestingly enough, he had not read that at that time. But it is of a similar mean. If you have read Moorcock's The Vanishing Tower in any one or all or some of those three iterations, then you know that it bears some resemblance. But he assures me he had not read it and it was not on his mind. But we're going to ask him all those questions. So if you have any questions, like if you can't make it for whatever reason, but you have questions for Alan about the Ghost Tower of Inverness, you can ask us in the Discord. Yes, we have a Discord. Or you can ask us in YouTube comments. You can leave me a comment under here. Go to the community, make a post at the community, and go from there. And I see that we have gained some viewers. We've gained some subs on YouTube. Welcome. If this is your first time here, as a new subscriber, this is kind of what we do. If you've never watched the videos before, if you're just like, I've heard people talking about this, I'll subscribe and then catch the first video tonight. You're coming in cold. Then this is our thing. This is our little fun house where I talk with you guys about classic role-playing games, heavy emphasis on Dungeons and Dragons, and we kick back and have a fine old time. So I hope that I hope that you'll stick around, because we're at 1,286 subs. We're just 14 subscribers out from 1,300. And you know what that means? Absolutely nothing. It means we will have added another 100 subs since we reached 1,200. So, welcome to the new subscribers. And if you're out there watching, if you're not subscribed, but you're in the audience, whether you're watching us live right now, or whether you are watching us at some point in the future, please consider clicking that subscribe button and that bell icon for notifications. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. But I do ask that if you give it a thumbs down, leave a comment below and tell me what you didn't like about it. Because if you tell us what you didn't like, then we can change things. We can change things to suit. Maybe we can show you something that you do like. 1,300 equals pizza party at my house? Nah. You guys can order pizza. You just pay for it. I'll get it next time. No, I won't. I got to be careful with what I say, because depending on what state or country you're in, I could be I could be held liable for I could be held liable for a verbal contract, for breaking a verbal contract. Lack of pizza, that's what you didn't. Go look in your freezer. See if there's a Totino's in there. Man, I remember when I was a kid and we got some Red Baron frozen pizza. I felt like I was living high on the hog. Little kid living in Gadsden, Alabama, staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night in the summer. At least I think it was the summer. Living high on the hog. I remember that was that particular night. That particular night was when I saw THX 1138. A very, I don't know if THX 1138 would be a Gamma World movie or if it would be Paranoia, but with all the humor stripped out of it. Well, 99.9% of the humor stripped out of it. But I do like THX 1138. I think it's one of it is an underrated gem from George Lucas. I think if he'd made more science fiction like that, it would have been good. Not more than Star Wars, but I think if he had kind of continued on that, but who can say? Definitely not Howard the Duck. Ian says, Red Baron pizza was the best. From Dungeon Minister. Yes, Red Baron. My mom used to get that for us all the time. My mom got me mini Red Baron pizzas. I felt grown up making my own pizza. Yeah, ours was, it felt like there was just like pizza in every room, because there was pizza on the dining room table and we'd sat back in the den and had pizza. And then, for some reason, I think my sister had friends over and they had pizza. They had like a sleepover, slumber party, and there was pizza on a couple of plates, and it just felt like every room in the house had pizza in it. But anyway, yes, I got to watch it with verbal contracts. You didn't know there was a short run Logan's Run TV show in 77. Yeah, no, I remember wanting to watch that a lot when I was a kid. Because anything science fiction, it just, forget that the plot went completely over my head. I was just making a joke about Logan's Run earlier today, and what I said was, Germans and pizza like Italians and tanks. Oh, heaven bless the Italians and their armored fighting vehicles, of pretty much to the point where we curb stomped them. and said, no, you're going to use M4s from now on because you're our allies. Although, like a lot of countries, way too late, when it was way too late, they like got with the programs. Oh, a 75 millimeter gun and a tank that weighs at least 30 tons. Okay. All right. See, we thought the tanks that like weighed 8 tons and had like a 15 millimeter gun, we thought those were, oh, wow. Our faces are red. Like the Japanese did the same thing. They built like this tiny, tiny handful of tanks that would have been a match or an overmatch for the Sherman. And then we dropped 2 atom bombs on Japan. And oh, okay. Now, Italy actually has a tank called the C1 Ariete that is like the equivalent of a mid-range Abrams. They've only got like 200 or 300 of them, and we've got 11,000 Abrams tanks, and Italy's on our side. But yeah, it's like a NATO standard main battle tank. It's an ass kicker. Cold pizza and warm beer. Ugh. I'll meet you halfway. Cold pizza. Anyway, back to Logan's Run and back to not understanding TV shows and making jokes about Logan's Run. The joke that I made earlier today was all of the cutting edge, high energy, grimdark, cyberpunky, techno industrial music from the early 1990s must now report to Carousel to renew. Its lifelock is flashing red. Just to kind of make my wife feel old. And she's like, yep, probably. German pilot would be a good mascot. There is a people don't talk about it much anymore, but there was a meme, the cheese and pepperoni, CHESE, and like I think pepperoni had like 1 P in it. PEPERONI. We're a bit tame tonight. We're a little tame tonight. But so this is weird. So many late Gen Xers I know have kind of followed this Oregon Trail meme for so long. Like, you have died of dysentery. Ha ha ha. Because we played Oregon Trail on our 8-bit Apple computers when we were in high school, didn't you? And I'm like, nah, Choplifter. We did like Choplifter and Text Adventures and Temple of Apshai and some racing game that actually a dude in the class had written in BASIC. Wave of Mutilations. Why wasn't Howard the Duck in Infinity War? Because as crazy as this is going to sound, I think Disney actually at that time had a tiny modicum of self-respect. But anyway, like I found out that there's like a half generation between Gen X and millennials or Gen Z or whatever. Generation Y, maybe. Feel like that was their thing. Oh yeah, we played Oregon Trail all the time on the 8-bit computers, on the Apple IIs or on the early IBMs in high school. And when people went looking for Oregon Trail to run in DOSBox or on other various emulators, the lone copy from MECC, MECC, that was floating around out there, somebody had copied from a disc they had gotten from a high school. And the high scoreboard in the game, if you didn't make it all the way to Oregon, it still kept track of your progress. And at X 100 miles, when you die, you put your name on a tombstone. It would show it on the tombstone, and you could visit the graveyard when you booted up the game. And so the joke about Tombstone pizzas, what do you want on your tombstone? You know, you can get a Tombstone frozen pizza that's all veggie or pepperoni or meat lovers or cheese only or pepperoni and mushroom, whatever. And so whatever person copied this disc and then it got uploaded to the internet, probably the Internet Archive, was a used disc. It had been played repeatedly. It wasn't like they had a boxed copy at home that they had made copies of and then played that, but kept the box copy set aside. Which was what some video game manufacturers had you do. And I mentioned that before about what is it? Bard's Tale games, the SSI Gold Box D&D games, and Wizardry all had their own onboard copy utilities that would copy themselves. You could run the copy utility because if you played with the discs themselves, they weren't write protected. So beating the game meant you altered the world. Like those quests were forever done. And if you wanted to play it again, you had to write new copies. But anyway, so wherever this copy was, one of the names on it was one of the tombstones said cheese and pepperoni, and it was misspelled. And that was a meme for the longest time, was cheese and pepperoni, because it was on your tombstone. And the what do you want on your tombstone goes all the way, I think that ad goes all the way back to the late 80s at least. Yeah, Moon Patrol was the one where you kind of bounced along the surface of the moon. I played the hell out of that on my C64. What I loved about Bard's Tale, and this like blew my mind, this was the coolest thing ever, and we will never see it again in a computer game, ever, in any computer game. The Bard's Tale games for the Apple II could take Wizardry or Ultima 2 or 3 characters, and you could port your characters into Bard's Tale. For the C64, it was only Ultima characters, but I think you could port them like multi-platform. Like if you could somehow get them, because I think like the IBM could, like the hardware, the Apple hardware, Apple disk hardware was dumb. It was just a Shugart disk controller all the way to the end of Apple's life. It was just a Shugart disk controller, which if you don't know anything about computer tech, here we go, talking about computer tech again. The Shugart and Associates disk controllers were literally the stupidest pieces of hardware ever. They were like, I see a 1, I throw a 1 on the computer. I see a 0, I throw a 0 on the computer, which made them fast, and it meant that you needed very little specialized hardware. Well, the Shugart and Associates disk controller in early IBM computers was the same way. So you could do certain tricks to read those. But I mean, imagine now, like you play Skyrim, or you play the next Elder Scrolls game, and then you're like, what if this guy, but in whatever Dark Souls, like Elden Ring, like whatever game, and you just port him over, and then you port him back. Imagine that. You couldn't do that today. You couldn't do that today. I had a trackball for my Atari initially. Then I used it on my VIC-20. Then I used it on my C64. But I actually had a mouse for my C64. I had the Commodore like 1530 mouse for my C64. And that, oh my God, I loved showing off GEOS, like booting it up and it looked like a Mac. And I could click around and open context menus. There was a game, and I've talked about it before. It was based on it was the computer version of Steve Jackson Games' Ogre from Origin Systems. And it had a GUI. All of its controls were GUI. I loved playing that thing at night, headphones on my little 11-inch color TV with a mouse, thinking like, okay, here I am in the command bunker trying to stop the ogre from winning. It was so much fun. A trackball mouse is just a centipede controller used for business. Okay, more computer history here. More computer history. Now, I really got to tip my hat to Canadian military technology because they were way ahead of the curve. The U.S. Navy wanted an airborne warning and control system and a submarine tracking system that could fit in a helicopter that was all computerized and could data link back to ships via an encrypted radio signal. That's a pretty tall order when you're talking about the late 1950s. Canada did it. And they did it by making a huge CRT, laying it flat so it was like a table. Like picture a cocktail arcade game. And the controller for quickly moving around, they took a lawn bowling ball and attached it to XY potentiometers to move the cursor around on the screen and positive input buttons. The Canadians invented the trackball. When the US Navy reviewed it, they literally thought it was so advanced that it was some kind of trick. That the company that made it was literally running some kind of like the whole thing was smoke and mirrors, and it wouldn't actually work, that they were just bucking for U.S. defense contract dollars, and they passed on it. A GUI airborne warning and control, a GUI for an airborne warning and control system 30 or 40 years before such a thing would have been practical. Man. But anyway, so what was, oh yeah. I saw something today that like, okay, this has to do with YouTube content and YouTube content creation. And like, if you're new to the channel and you're like, he's not talking about Dungeons and Dragons, I promise I kind of am in an oblique way. The computer language you're thinking of, Kenneth, was Ada. And it was written specifically for military applications initially. I don't think it's really a maintained language anymore. And yes, it was given the name after Ada Byron Lovelace. So there's a tech YouTube channel, and I've talked about it before on the show. I'm not going to go into the specifics. They offer merch. They offer a lot of merch. And people have asked me, like, are you ever going to offer merch? This is as close as I've gotten, and the Dungeon Minister made this for the con. If you guys legitimately, seriously want merch, like you would wear or own something to support the Delver's Dungeon, by all means, let me know. But they recently started offering a backpack. And it's supposed to be a carry-all for your laptop, for fairly sensitive gear. And I got to tell you something. If you're on the move, if mobile computing is your jam, your backpack, your ruck, your suitcase, whatever, has got to be durable. You don't want you don't want a bag strap to give way if you're walking up a wet street. You don't want it to hit the ground under any circumstances, but certainly, or let's say the strap's holding up and it's pouring rain. You get inside, you open it up, your bag's got 2 inches of water in it. The point is, it's got to be durable. And they were fairly expensive. This tech YouTuber was charging a lot. They make a ton of merch. Toolkits, hoodies, t-shirts, caps, sunglasses, gloves, all kinds of tchotchkes and odds and ends. Piggyback RAM with new computers? No, I don't think so, General Nut. Yeah, the wizard logo would get me in trouble, and frankly, the idea of dealing with the person who squatted that design churns my stomach. Anyway, so people were asking, like, hey, if I buy one of these new backpacks, are you going to warranty it? And I completely get it. I'm looking at a backpack. I got it at a convention like 15 years ago, and it's been very durable. Like the handle on it is a piece of steel cable that is sewn into the body of the backpack. It is very durable. It survived being thrown. It's fairly water resistant. Like, I wouldn't immerse it in a puddle with my laptop in it. Because water will go in through zippers, but it's a durable backpack, and I like it a lot. I got it like a Cisco Security World convention or something. So for what was being charged for these backpacks, people were like, I want a lifetime warranty on this. And the YouTuber's response over social media initially was, look, if there's something wrong with it, just let me know. We'll take care of it. There's your warranty. And there were people who got a little insistent about it. It was like, I want something written. If I buy it, I want a warranty for this. Let me tell you, if I make pint mugs or pint glasses or coffee mugs or something for my show, I mean, if you get it and it's broken, send it back to Teespring. If you've had it for 5 years and the logo washes off, I don't know what to tell you. Again, send it back to Cafe Press or Teespring and get your money back from them. I would do my best to ensure that you weren't getting crap, but that's it if I did merch. But this guy's like directly handling the stuff. He's not drop shipping it, right? And his response was basically, yeah, just trust me, bro. You'll get it'll be fine. Just trust me, bro. And there are people that said, nah, that's. And so he kind of went on the snark offensive, like to the point that they quickly added to their merch store t-shirts that said, here's your warranty. Just trust me, bro. And then his response on social media was, if something were to happen to me, I wouldn't want my family to years down the line be responsible for this. I mean, dude, if your business is set up properly, your family isn't going to be. And if something happens to you and your business ceases to exist because you're no longer with us, God forbid, then, I mean, you know, if I bought an AMC Pacer, well, no, this is perfect. Nobody bought Saturn. Okay, Saturn tried to sell themselves. My Saturn currently does not hold oil. It's got a blown rare seal. I don't know how I'm going to fix that, but anyway, I'm out of luck. I can't go, and I wouldn't go to the former president of Saturn Motors, or an engineer at Saturn, or the guy that worked in the service department at Saturn, and say, you owe me the $2,100 it's going to take to replace my rear main seal. First of all, car warranties are for much shorter periods of time, but even if they weren't, the company is gone. To say, I'm not going to offer you a warranty because what if I drop dead tomorrow? That's just facile and dumb. I mean, and I suppose I could mention who this is, but I don't want to get dragged into the drama. It just struck me weird. Am I weird for thinking that, like, dude, come on. So if somebody's going to put a $5,000 MacBook in your backpack and you won't tell them, like, you won't take one of those backpacks, put a dry ream of paper in it and immerse it in a kiddie pool for 30 seconds and then pull it out and see if the sheets of paper stay dry. What's wrong with you? Like seriously, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? Or rather, why would you not do that? And it makes me glad that I'm not subbed to that dude's channel anymore. First of all, he has 14 million subscribers or something like that. Millions of subscribers, millions of people are subscribed to him. If I went into his forums and said, wow, I know you were just talking about computers and tech, but this was meaningful to me because it made me feel like if these guys can get a budget PC put together and working, and even though they're kind of laughing about it, it made me think that maybe my skills aren't so bad. Nobody at their organization is going to fucking read that and respond back to me or reach out to me and say, oh, yeah, hey, man. No, right on, brother. It was literally just the most ridiculous, pardon the F-bomb, I'm getting demonetized for this again, fucking thing in the world. I'm sorry, I could carry all the gear that I'm recording with right now, except for the PC. I could probably fold up and put in that backpack. Now, that backpack doesn't have a warranty on it, but let's say it's one of his, and it gets soaked with water or kicked down a flight of stairs, and all the stuff I try to do my show with is broken. Yeah, I'd be kind of pissed off about that. A-Wig says, WotC has a new store. All sales are final. No refunds. Perhaps you are just old, expecting anything more than short-sightedness in business. Yeah. Maybe that's just me. But that has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons. But it does have to do with a very shitty attitude by a guy who basically made his living is on YouTube. My living is not on YouTube. I don't make a living doing this. A little tiny bit of money that helps out around here sometimes, which I'm not. I'm not putting anything on you guys, but that's just the reality, right? If I woke up tomorrow and I had his number of subscribers, I would say, yeah, I make a living on YouTube. I would hope that I would treat you guys better than he treats his customer base. But I certainly wouldn't get on social media and say, you want to guarantee that your Delver's Dungeon drinking stein, I like that, quaffing horns, doesn't cut your lip and give you tetanus? What do you think? I'm made of money? I would hope to God that I wouldn't do that. Or if I did go on social media and do that, that at that point I would have people who would come to me and say, look, you fucked up. You need to go back there. First of all, you need to delete that tweet. You need to mock yourself for doing that. You need to apologize, and you need to tell people that ain't going to happen. And you need to take these trust me, bro t-shirts making fun of those people off your store and apologize. But I just think that is an extremely shitty take. I do. What can I say? I'm kind of fundamentally old and weird like that. It just bothers me at my core. It just bothers me at my core. I mean, it's like bad DMing, right? It's like, I'm the DM, my way or the highway. I didn't guarantee you'd have fun. I didn't guarantee you that your character wouldn't die 6 times. I didn't guarantee you that I would treat you decently at the gaming table. That's what that's like. That to me is exactly what that's like. Treat people with some basic respect. How is it a big fat nerd like me? Okay, remember, think about this. According to the larger internet, I am an old misanthrope who doesn't like people. I'm a gatekeeper. I scare people away. How is it I can get basic human decency down pat, not make an asshole out of myself on social media, and look at people and say, I don't care about anything you've got going on as far as any arguments you want to have. I just want you to sit and play and have a good time. But the entire world around me is that way. How is it that I was pointing in the wrong direction. You guys over in the comments, how is it that you get it and the rest of the world doesn't? But we're the bad guys of the hobby. We're the gatekeepers. We're the old weird guys. I don't care where you're coming from. I want you to sit and play. I will treat people at my table with basic respect. Not like Mr. If you follow tech circles, you know who I'm talking about. That's the crux of it, guys. When we sit down to game, all of us beard gamers, all right, what I have heard very uncharitably referred to as the cat piss men. And I get it. I've run into some cat piss men before. We get it. All right? Curmudgeons or not, we get it. Wave of Mutilation says good manners are in short supply these days. They are. I'll ask. All our hobby requires of people is that you just want to sit and play and have a good time and to be treated with a little bit of respect by each other. Wave of Mutilation asks cat piss. Cat piss, man. Like, guys that obviously have hygiene issues. So, but anyway, and Doomsword hits the nail on the head, figuratively speaking. Anyway, civilized men are more discourteous than savages because they know they can be impolite without having their skulls split, as a general thing. It's very true. I wonder if Tonka Todd knows that he's in the back room, because I just saw like all of your messages now that you'd been saying if you wanted to come out here before we play Gamma World and join us, because I see like all of your chats that nobody else but me is seeing. Okay, so I want to talk about some positive things though. That's it. That's the end. Oh, hello, call shippers. Alan Kenning, good to see you. Howard's Conan does know that. Don't make me come out there. If I have to crack some skulls, I'll do it. So again, if you're new to the show, you might not be aware. The thing about Let's Play Gamma World, what's that about? Well, we're going to play some Gamma World. We've got some Gamma World to play. I'm thinking, and I want some feedback from you guys. I want some input. You can mention it to us over on the Discord. Where's the Discord window? Let's see. There it is. So if you want to join us and discuss this, you can come and talk to us on the Discord about this. And there's the link right there. But I think come October, which is not that far off, by the way, that's 4 more sessions of Gamma World or 4 more sessions of something. We may shift gears a little bit. We may go from Gamma World to Call of Cthulhu for our Friday night game. Would you guys be interested in watching a Call of Cthulhu live stream? Let me know in the comments. Let me know over on the Discord if that's something you'd like to do. And I don't think Delta Green is awesome, but it's almost kind of overplayed with SCP and the back rooms now and Local 58 and all that. I think it might be time to go back to 1930, 1920s, even 1940s. We could even do like late 1940s. I've got some enthusiastic yeses. There's a response from Sapphire Sissy in the Discord. Cthulhu is awesome. Wave of Mutilation says COC is my favorite game of all time. Well, I'm feeling yes. I'm feeling yes. So we would switch over to that. I think I think we've had a good taste. So if that's something you'd be interested in doing, now, if you're one of my Gamma Worlders and you have no interest whatsoever in playing an apocalyptic horror game, double dipping, I see Sapphire over. I gotcha. And you would be like, I'm gonna sit out the Call of Cthulhu. That's fine. But as it stands, if I keep the Friday night Gamma World crew, as it were, I would have maybe a couple of openings if you're interested in jumping in to that you need to reach out to me about that. But if everybody on Friday night who plays Gamma World is like nopes out, well, that means I would have 6 openings. So I think for a live stream, 6 is like the max. I know I've said before, hey, I have 12 people on Monday nights that I've gamed with. Like, we've maxed out. Actually, I think we maxed out at 15. And right now we're at 9, I think. But regardless, it's fewer than 12. But I think for a live stream, for the sake of sanity, for our viewers' sake, we would probably keep that to a lower number. So, and I've already got Kennick Sapphire has already jumped up and said they'd be interested in playing. What is I feel that Sanka might be interested in it also. No. The deep ones wouldn't dissect you. They wouldn't bother. They would just eat you. I think the deep ones would do something like spend weeks almost drowning you. Like, pull you underwater, hold you there for a good 40 seconds, then let you back up for air. Do that for a few hours every day until you were like insane from fear and pain and probably suffering from pneumonia, and then just, pull you a few dozen fathoms down and keep massaging your heart the whole way down, crushing your chest to keep that blood flowing, and just conscious enough to see Father Dagon or Mother Hydra sitting on their throne, and what's left of your sanity leaves you in a burst of the agony of ruptured lungs and madness and so on. That's more of a deep one thing. And surgery, it's your elder thing. Your elder thing grabs you and is like, these ugly non-radiant monkey-like beings that we created by mistake have become quite clever. Hand me the obsidian scalpel, won't you? Let's see what they look like inside. It's moving and making noise. Interesting. Slit. That is more of an elder thing. Thing. Your team got operated on by deep ones. And also the Migo. Yeah, the Migo wouldn't hesitate to be like, what if we took part of this gray tumor substance underneath this bony cranial ridge? What if we just took half of that out and put in this protoplasmic mold that adapts quickly, and then stitched you back up and just let you go back into your society and just watched what happened? You guys in this damn horse meme, forced horse meme, I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, I think we'll wrap up COC, or we'll wrap up Gamma World, or at least come to a stopping point, or just kind of break it off. Because I think you guys have kind of gotten a handle on how Gamma World goes. And I feel a little weird thinking of Gamma World in terms of, or not Gamma World, Call of Cthulhu in terms of like an old school role-playing game. Gamma World, swing and a miss number 2. Call of Cthulhu has never changed. From 1st to 6th edition. Now, 7th changed, BRP changed fundamentally, or it may have been 6th edition. But the point is, for almost 40 years, Gamma World I swear to God, guys, I have Gamma World notes open and I keep glancing at them. Call of Cthulhu basic role playing did not fundamentally change. So saying we're playing Call of Cthulhu, like if you've got a Call of Cthulhu 5e or 6e rulebooks that were printed in the night, certainly outside of what I consider the old school era. See, my COC rulebook, which if I can do this once again without knocking stuff off, well, I ran into the table and that made the camera shake, so that was almost as good. Can I see it? I can't see it. Anyway, somewhere back there, I've got a COC 4e rulebook that I use as my main rulebook. But if you've got a COC 1e book, your rulebook and my rulebook are going to be exactly the same as far as rules mechanics. Nothing is different. If you've got a 6e book and I've got my 5e book or my 4e book, nothing is different. If you've got 5e, well, I've got 4e. If you've got 3e, well, I've got 5e. So it's not like we're going to be playing some hoary old form of an RPG that's going to be sort of a new introduction for you guys. So I want to talk about change, but before I do, I want to take a minute here. I want to take a minute because I will forget otherwise. And I want to thank everybody who supports the show. If you're a new subscriber and this is something you want to do, if you want to support the show on Patreon or on Subscribestar or support us directly with a donation to PayPal, and I only have that up there. I'm not rattling the cup. Some people wanted that. Some people asked for that. So I put it up there. But you right down there is Subscribestar, the Delvers Dungeon, or Patreon is just the Delvers Dungeon, all one word. bsylvia@gmail.com. But there are some folks who support us via those channels, and I want to say thanks to them. So big thank you, of course, to Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck, William Smith, The Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, Carnivore Farmer, Rob knows I can't say that, Gillis, Jeremy Rule, Bo Ganora, Mikey Mank, that's Sky Hernstrom, Pete Sullivan, and the DM's Council. Thank you all very much for your enthusiastic support of the show. It is always greatly appreciated. And if you would like to support the show and become a Patreon subscriber or a Subscribestar supporter, that's awesome. It's really appreciated. It literally helps me keep the lights on around here. So let's see. Old school ends in 1990. New school begins in 2000. The in between years are the dark times. Well. Oh my gosh, you guys and that. But I was going to mention, oh, right. So change. Change is a funny thing. And I promise we'll get going on Gamma World here in just a few minutes. I do want to talk about change for just a hot minute. I actually did quote Star Trek at a fundamentals of computer programming professor in the early 1980s. So in the world of computing, There are two prominent computer architectures: CISC, complex instruction set, and RISC, reduced instruction set. CISC takes everything inside the chip. RISC has a smaller set of commands, which means you can write smaller, tighter code. We were asked to analyze the white paper that was released. It was more of a press white paper about from the RISC design team, RISC, from the RISC design team. And if you want to know if RISC chips are around, yes, ARM processors, which drive Apple's products now, they're just derivative of ARM processors. Your television, if you have a smart TV, an Android phone has a RISC processor in it. There are more RISC processors than CISC processors in use. But they wanted to push it into enterprise computing for obvious reasons. They thought RISC was the best thing since sliced bread. The thing about it is, when you're fighting something that's entrenched, when you're saying you should change, the benefits after change are not the only benefits that you have to focus on. As I watch my current viewer count just plummet. And this is true in tabletop gaming. If you say, guys, let's switch over from X edition to Y edition, it's not just that you're promising, once we learn the new rules, once I've gone through the trouble of converting my campaign over, once we translate your characters, assuming we can, and we don't just retire your old character and you create a new one, or we just take your character's name and concept and ditch all the numbers and bring them over, it'll be great. That'll take a few months, but then it'll be great. Change for the sake of change is not a good thing. Change needs to be redefined as more than just because we can do a thing, it does not necessarily follow that we should do that thing. And that's why the world for enterprise computing, which is true for today, and desktop computing for 90%, 99% of the computing world, is still Intel processors that run on essentially the same brain as they did when Intel introduced the 8086 or the 8088 or even the 8080 all the way back in the mid 1970s, right around the time of the release of Dungeons and Dragons, in fact. And that's what I've always just shook my head. Guys, a new rule system for D&D came out. We're converting. Why? Well, when we get it all converted and changed, and after we learn the rules in a few months, once we get used to all this, it'll all be better. It's not just, you can't just say that point A and point F, we're at point A, point F's going to be awesome, so let's change so we get over to point F. Wait a minute, B, C, D, and E have to all offer advantages. They have to all offer advantages. I have to feel like B, C, D, and E are all worth my time and money. You know, I've got a stack of 5 ebooks over here that came from Volcano God. It's literally 2 feet tall, 24 inches. And that's not all of it. There's still stuff out in my den in a tote. Hello, Bob Jester. It's not a Lucrata. It is a Lamia. But the point that I'm getting at with all of this, guys, is this. You can't just say, change and everything will be awesome. The process of change has to be advantageous, not just the outcome of the change. If the process of the change, in addition, is an odious, laborious, gigantic pain in the ass, what have we saved? What's truly better? People tend to remember hard times. The trauma of hard times sticks with the brain much more than the joy of good times. It's the unfortunate reality of the human psyche. You know, being told that Bob the fighter can no longer be what he was, and that if you want to keep the Bob the Fighter name and make him into something else, well, Bob's player is now, I mean, he's going to fondly remember Bob the Fighter, and then the day he told that Bob the Fighter couldn't come over to 52nd edition. I was happy in 51st edition. Then we started through the change process. We got to step D of the change process. And then we discovered that Bob the Fighter couldn't be in 52nd edition. So change for the sake of change for the sake of being, in with the next new edition is pointless. Okay? Even though Microsoft wishes it desperately weren't so, guess what? Windows 7 still works fine for a lot of people. And it will continue to work fine. They tried for ages to kill off Windows XP. I mean, Internet Explorer 5.5, Microsoft had to actively work with IT companies to make it stop working. Like if you fire up Internet Explorer 5.5, if you go get your Windows XP no service pack install CD and install it on a VM and launch Internet Explorer 5.5 and try and go to most websites, they'll be like, no, this doesn't work, dude. But up until a few years ago, people were still farting around with it. So don't change just because someone says you have to. The guys at Chaosium understood this. Why didn't anyone else? Why didn't anyone else? And I'm including TSR in that. Not the change from OD&D or Basic into AD&D. Those are still fundamentally the same games. So, without that said, we would have 10 more minutes of playtime tonight. But with that said, let me don the headphones of power and let us now play some Gamma World. And welcome our players, Doomsword, Barongo, and Jammy Dodger himself, Mr. Tonka Todd. How y'all doing this evening?
I am Peachy King. If I was doing any better, I'd have to clone myself. Now, before we start playing, I've got to say something, Bill.
All right.
Dungeon Master, I have been looking closely at the horse tonight. I do agree it does look like a cow. Therefore, there, case off. And it bites because it's mean.
I asked for a group of players and I got junior samples. Anyway.
Does it lay mushrooms?
Let's I am where is my copy of
Benny Hill's soundtrack?
Yes, the Benny. Exactly so. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay. Sorry, I had to adjust something there. Let me get the gamma rolled. Sit in. Get my gamma rolled rules open here. Ah, yes, exactly. I go to open files in my Adobe Reader, and it opens in my web browser. That is exactly what I wanted to do. Thank you so much, Microsoft.
Well, it's there to help, Bill.
Yeah, it's there to something. All right. When last we left the adventurers, you had explored into a building, fought a couple of errant robots, and met some friendly mutants, some lizard people, I believe. Is that not so?
That's so. They were friendly to the prior regime.
They were friendly to the prior regime? All right, so you're able to see from the top of this ruined building. You're able to look out across the land and the let me see. I believe they're Sleeth, not Zeeth. They're not currently trying. Yes, Sleeths. They are not Zeeth. They are not trying to teleport their seeds into your abdomen.
Sleeth,
So
like Land of the Lost?
No, the Sleeth are a little bit more. Your Land of the Lost Sleeth stacks had kind of flatter faces. That the Sleeth have got kind of a more elongate, like think AD&D Lizard Man kind of countenance to them.
Gotcha.
So they thank you for helping destroy the errant robots that had them trapped on top of the building, and invite you to accompany them to their village, which is some distance away. They will be more than happy to honor you as you should be. And they are telepathic, so, and they seem completely sincere. So what will you do, adventurers, seekers?
Well, somebody's going to have to take the lead since we've got no Rex Dashington for a while, right? Because he was kind of, him and Christopher were, basically kind of directing us.
Yes, Rex says, I think this could be a good turn for you. Given that there were robots in this building that was supposedly abandoned, it would behoove us to stay here and search it further while you journey with our new friends, particularly those so proximate to the Stronghold and New Hope, and establish trade lines. Yes, that is what your graduation exercise will be. Accompany these good Sleeth to their home and enjoy their friendship and broker a greater understanding between they and we.
Well, that sounds like a job for Barango to me.
Barango.
Oh, I'm muted. Isn't that awesome? I'm surprised by being muted. Yeah, I mean, sure.
The mute button wins initiative and casts silence 15-foot radius on Barongo.
Yes. I do have, some charisma.
Okay, what is your charisma?
It is 11. So,
It's above average.
yes,
Although, charisma is more than just looks.
it's going
and
to have to be in this case.
Yeah. The Sleeth, yeah, if you suddenly find yourself physically attractive to a Sleeth,
No thanks.
our game does not run that way. Sorry, folks out there on the internet. But anyway, yes, the Sleeth are already very favorably inclined. But Papa Sleeth regards Rex Dashington after he says, "My companions will accompany you to your village. I will remain here and make sure the building does not contain any more machines of the ancients." Sorry, that's my best Rex Dashington Yang and Zhao impression. That's as good as you get. Yang, if you're listening to this later, I am both sorry and not sorry. And again, the Sleeth is the Sleeth is yes, Rex Dashington Zamina. We will be honored if your friends will accompany us. You are truly mighty warriors. And all 3 meters of him bows and he touches his forehead on the floor of the building of the ancients.
You hotshots got any weapons?
I've got Chuck the robot that's got some weapons on him.
Yeah, I'm wondering about these guys. These guys were supposed to accompany.
Yeah, I have a laser pistol, but it's only got 7 shots.
The Sleeth. The patriarch or matriarch, you're not sure, they're lizards, presents a some kind of projector, it looks like a weapon of the ancients, and says, "This has function as a weapon, but it makes a solid projectile go out, not a beam of blinding light as yours do. It was of no good against the machines, no."
Was it no good because you didn't know how to use it? Or was it no good because?
I understand the function of it. I have met Orlin who have traded and explained the, how do you say, Amuzamaba, Amarazaza, the hard stones that fly out of this tube here.
Yeah, whatever. Did you teach one of us to use it?
I could, but again, I myself understand how to use it. It is, you must understand, for the protection for my family against smaller creatures. Do you not have your mighty instruments of destruction of your own?
I got a sword.
Yes, I see. Yes.
Mostly our weapons of destruction are due to, let's say, less than perfect understanding of circumstances and items.
I think I apprehend. Your speech is somewhat confusing and off-putting, but yes, I believe I understand.
You understand perfectly.
I understand perfectly. He chatters in what you can only presume is a Sleeth tongue to one of the smaller and presumably younger Sleeth, who unslings a sack on his back, and he turns to you, Numbers, and says, this perhaps you have proven yourselves formidable warriors. I do not wish the younglings to have to fight if it can be avoided. So perhaps for a time you would honor us by carrying this. And he hands you the sack, and it's got some weight to it. There's something in it for sure.
Nice. I'll open that up.
Okay, there is a crossbow and a case of quarrels in it. And if its design is to go by, it is a relatively recent build, but it is made of metal from an ancient time. Although your character wouldn't know this, the bow itself is from the leaf spring of a ground vehicle.
All right, that's real cool. Is it is it something that I feel like I can suss out and use?
Yeah, just give me a couple of D10 rolls. It's
I meant without D10 rolls.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've used a bow before. It's just a bow laying across what appears to be a piece of wood fashioned to be held in the hands. So
yeah, I got a 2 and a 9.
So it takes you a few minutes. It's really just the like, okay, do I pull the bowstring or oh no, I use this lever that I kind of, jack back and forth to cause the bowstring to come back. And it does it in a 2 or 3 pulls. So it takes you a few minutes. But with the Sleeth's assistance, you're able to sort it out. And so you now can use a crossbow.
Excellent.
And so a crossbow is, let's see. Oh, it's actually pretty good. It is a class 9 weapon.
All right.
And it is 1 to 4 versus small and large. Now, this is not like an AD&D crossbow where it's like fire, spend the next round readying it, fire again. You can fire it every round. It's basically got a rate of fire of 1, but it fires 120 meters.
Nice.
So it's got quite the reach on it.
How many quarrels was it, please?
There's actually a goodly amount. There's 30 quarrels.
Excellent. Thank you.
Damien asking, so Jammy Dodger, refresh everyone's memory on your pet robot.
Oh, my sidekick, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck's a robot. He's got some smoke grenade launcher. He's got a riot gun. He has a tractor beam. And I've got an ancient finding stick.
Oh, that's right. You've got the you got the robot control device,
and it controls power suits too, which was fun to mess with.
Yeah, messing with Rex.
The main thing to know about Jimmy is he's too good looking to hit.
I see. Well, I'll take that under consideration as we explore onward. So moving forward, adventurers, the Sleeth head down the building. It's just bare staircases of the worked metal embedded stone of the ancients, and you find yourself on the lower floor now. Rex waving his hydraulically actuated power suit arm as you depart the building. and you are headed to the north. You are headed due north out of the ancient building ruin.
Hey, sorry guys, I got a bow and some arrows if anyone wants that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna chuck it. I'll give it to the Sleeth.
If you're not, if you're putting this up for grabs for everyone, the head of the Sleeth family, his youngling who gave you the crossbow, the head kind of pushes him forward, and he kind of awkwardly bows and touches his forehead to the ground, and not even looking at you, just holds his hands out to accept the bow and the arrows.
It's my pleasure to provide this to you. May you use it well.
He makes a sibilant noise and then rejoins his family unit. The father seems proud. All right, so a few hours foot journey, and you're coming out of the dry, kind of grassless, sandy area to more of a savanna location. The Sleeth is pointing out. You can just kind of see shimmering in the heat to the west. There's something sort of arching up out of the ground. He's have not been that way, but I believe that is a passageway of the ancients. Perhaps someday we can explore together. And then there's off to the northeast, there's kind of a shimmer, and he indicates that, and he says, apprehend there. It appears to be a body of water, and indeed there is. I went to it to seek the fish that are easy to catch for my family, but as I approached it, I grew hot and weak, and I almost swooned. I believe that is an ancient cursed place. We should avoid it if we can. So it
Tell
may
me
be,
twice. Give it a large, long berth.
yes, you think it may be a scar from the ancient wars on the ground that still holds some old poison. You're not 100% sure, but the Sleeth seemed insistent that you avoid it. All right, so as you are, let's see. Give me just a moment here. Okay, as you're kind of meandering along this track, you see about 10 meters away, there is a cluster of palm-like bushes about a meter tall. And it seems to be kind of shimmering with multicolors. And you've all kind of seen this plant before. Some of your science types have said that its leaves, or rather its the petals of its blossom, can be useful for healing, but it may be dangerous to approach. And the Sleeth is kind of stroking his pointed chin. You know, he's a little bearded lizard. He's got little hairy follicles out there. And he said, I wonder if perhaps we should avoid or approach.
Well,
I'll look
we
at it.
can send Chuck ahead.
That's true.
Okay.
I want to look at it with ultravision to see if it has any emissions.
Oh dear God, yes. It just
Radiation.
yeah, it's this. We've all seen HBO's Chernobyl at night with the Cherenkov radiation beam going straight up into the sky. That's what's coming off of this.
Oh, so it's good to lick then. Okay.
Let's play in the dust. So you're sending Chuck over to it?
Absolutely.
Okay. By your command, turns and starts to clatter over towards it. He rolls right up to it and stops, and his cranial turret turns around and looks back, and just like even at the distance you guys are away from it, just ear-splittingly loud, it says, "What do you wish me to do?"
Well, I turn to my two buddies and go, so what do we want him to do? If that's good for healing, or so the rumors go, do we want to rip a plant up out of the ground and take it back?
Is it just the leaves, or do we just have like rudimentary understanding of this?
The petals of the flower structure, when they're sun-dried and crumbled into a powder, basically produce a powdered healing substance.
So maybe just get the petals.
Okay.
We'll put it in a big glass jar pitcher with a big face on it, when we get back.
Do we have one of these glass jars with us?
I actually have some water jars that we got in session 1.
That's right, you do.
I do, so that's what we'll use.
Right on. I'll tell Chuck to grab the flowers.
Okay.
Collect all the flowers, Chuck. Good boy.
I give him the yay verily wave.
Jamie just talking to Chuck like he's a dog. Who's a good boy? You are. Yes, you are.
So he reaches out and clips the first large flowering bloom off. Are you still looking at this thing with UV?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it because I want to see if, one, it's a problem for him. Is he reacting weird? Or two, if that pedal stops being part of the problem once he pulls it.
Okay, let me see.
That's smart.
It doesn't say it has one.
We've already got one, you see.
Okay. I'm going to say for purposes we'll treat it as an 18. All right. There's a pulse of radiation, very clear pulse of radiation. But if Chuck reacts to it, you don't see it. He collects the next. All right, let's see. So 2, and this is Again, you see a huge pulse of radiation, and you guys can actually feel like a little bit of warmth from where you're at. I mean, the inverse square law means that you guys aren't getting cooked, but like the lizard men are backing up. Like after the first one, they jump backwards away and are telepathically telling you to move back away from this thing while your metal man collects the blossoms.
Henry Dodge is licking the air because it tastes funny.
Okay. And let's see, the last pulse. Oh, that's not so bad. All right, yeah, it collects the last blossom. You guys, it has these 3 huge blossoms, and it comes trundling back over to you. Chuck appears to be functioning, and it is holding in its metal claws the blossoms.
Good boy, Chuck. Put him in that water container.
He does so.
Put him in... Who's a good boy? Chuck's a good boy. Yes, him he is.
If Chuck is pleased by your admonitions, he does not react.
That's code for don't do that again.
Okay. So another hours of travel. Well, that's interesting. Let's see. Okay. Coming from the woods, the forested area, which you guys are now actually getting close to, you see a group of 5 robed humans. They are all carrying these boxy devices, which you presume to be weapons, since they're kind of carrying them like that. And they're some distance away when you see them, because you're in the open. Yeah, we're gonna say it's like it's well, let's see. Are you surprised? I think everybody here has an above normal dexterity, yes?
Yep. Mine's a 13.
Yep.
No,
11.
I've got an 18.
You got, okay. You see, like, the earth begin to shift, like there's something under it, and a Tarpolian, this is just 10 meters away, kind of gets pushed aside, and up jump these 4 humanoids. It fortunately, Numbers is able to call out a warning, and they're all bringing up their weapons and pointing them at you. There is a female amongst them, and she just points at your group, does not speak, and they're all spreading out and leveling their weapons at waist level at you. So let's go down. What is Numbers doing?
I'm firing at that thing with my newfound crossbow.
All right. How about Barongo?
Time to use the laser pistol.
And Jamie?
I'm going to have Chuck fire his riot gun.
And what about Jamie himself?
I'm just going to kind of be behind Chuck with my spear ready.
Okay.
A little bit.
That's fine. the Seath is taking a knee. One of the younger is drawing his bow. So numbers, Rob, Doomsword, roll initiative for the side, please.
Yeah, that's a 2.
That's a 2. Okay. They rolled a 6. They begin to fire. We'll just go down. As I said, there are 5 of them. 4 of them have I'm sorry, I completely read that wrong. One of them has the weapon. The other have blades. The one with the blades are rushing forward. So they move forward and attack in melee. You guys can still shoot them, but they, having the initiative, will melee you, except for the one who raised her weapon and is shooting.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't cite the specific place, but there's something about having an 18 dex that gives me like a first attack or something?
It does. You can go ahead and take your shot. You are correct.
Yeah, I'm only correct because you told me that. That's a 12.
That is a 12. Let's see. Given their robes, but their relative speed, they are armor class 4. So let's see. And this is your crossbow, which we said is class 9.
Yes, sir.
And you're just shooting at the one that's rushing up to melee you, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. 12.
Bust his head numbers.
That will hit.
All righty. Big D4. Come on. 3.
Okay, twang, thwack, just kind of strikes him in the upper torso. He is drawing a blade, which is, it is kind of a dull metallic color, and you're not sure what he does, but there is a loud keening sound that turns into almost a high-pitched scream. All of you see this, by the way. And it goes from the dull metallic color to a red hot color, and you can feel the heat coming off of it as it is moving forward to strike you in return. So let's see. All right, so that is a class 5 weapon. And what is your armor class, please?
That would be 4.
All right, needs a 10 plus. Misses. You kind of dance back there. Jammy Dodgers, what is your armor class, please?
4.
You are struck.
I'm so sorry to get
and yet there you are. Yeah, that hurts like nothing else. There's the cold pain of being stabbed that is immediately subsumed by 25 points of burning agony.
Hey, at least it cauterized it.
right.
And this fellow does not have an intense look on his face. It is completely placid. It is frighteningly placid. What is Barongo's armor class, please?
It's AC 3.
AC 3. That may have saved you. Let's see. We said this is a class 5 weapon. Armor class 3. Alas, no. Take 25 points of damage.
Oh
Yikes.
my!
Yeah.
Them things hurt.
Slash. Yeah.
I must have missed the part of the stream where we were starting Call of Cthulhu tonight.
Okay. Papa is also struck. He hisses as blue-green blood is quickly cauterized and takes damage, and the one who pointed at you that is apparently a female is firing at the youngling. Ooh, a 2 is going to miss regardless. Yeah, a sizzling beam of orange just cracks over his head. Counterattacks. His arrow misses. Papa shoots at the one that has stabbed him. Oh, Papa hits.
Get on Papa with your bad self.
Yeah. So with his slug thrower, not bad, not bad. He like yanks himself off of the blade, brings it up, and blasts this thing in the abdomen. It kind of staggers back, looks down, and rears back with its sword. So Barongo and Jimmy Dodger, and you can roll for Bob the robot.
Chuck.
Sorry,
the robot.
Chuck the robot.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for Chuck first to get him out of the way.
Okay.
I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10. Okay. He has a riot gun, which is just basically a slug thrower. What class is that? Let's see. That is effectively a pistol slug. That is a class 10. And I'm sorry, you rolled a what?
A 10.
A 10. Okay, yeah. He's not able to get a shot. Which one is he firing at? Is he firing at one of those meleeing you, or is he firing at the one with the energy weapon?
He's firing at the one that stabbed me, because Chuck loves me. He doesn't show it, but he loves me.
I see. Okay. Well, Chuck is also trying to not shoot you in the back of the head. So you go ahead and make your attack then.
Okay. Well, how about we keep it on the table, Todd?
Big
I'm pretty sure this misses. A big old heroic 9 with a spear.
A 9 with a spear. Let's see. Clubs, hammers, maces, spears is a class 1. Yeah, no, he just slaps it away. Like he's got the blade in one hand and he just swats as you lunge forward with a spear and draws back to stab you again. And that we come.
Jimmy Dodger yells, "I'm a lover, not a fighter."
Okay, Barongo.
Yeah, I rolled an attack, shooting the person with the sword that's in melee. I got a 15.
A 15 will hit.
Okay, let me see what the damage is. 5d6.
That's nice.
Okay, so it is 15 damage. 61161. How terrible.
That is exactly average on 5 dice, though.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, you know, there's that smell of ozone and that pop as you blaze away at it, and it again kind of looks down and examines the wound and comes back and stares at you with his amber eyes and is rearing back again. We are back over to initiative, except Numbers goes first. Numbers, take your shot. This thing is up in your grill. You can shoot it with your crossbow at point blank range, or you can go melee. Which do you wish to do?
Yeah, what's involved with going melee? Do I like
just drop your weapon and grab your sword or whatever?
And I can like do that right now.
Oh yeah. It's like D&D in that.
All right, yeah, that's exactly what I'd like to do. I drop that crossbow, draw my long sword, take one in the face.
All right.
I got a 12.
A 12. Let's see.
Yeah, that's weapon class 3.
Okay, so it's class 3, 12 versus armor class 4 is gonna hit. Actually,
Oh, wow.
you do 1 to 8.
All right. 5 points.
Not bad, and you've done 3 to it. So yeah, you lunge in and just crunch, shink. You must have hit bone, because it just kind of stops for a second and then sinks in another couple inches before you pull it out.
Sweet.
Now we'll roll initiative, and now it is to Barongo. Kevin, roll initiative for the party, please.
I got a 4.
Party will go first.
Nice.
Big Daddy Sleeth is gonna shoot at the one in front of him again, and that is a 20. That will hit. That will do. Oh wow! No lie, 18.
Awesome.
Yeah, he just puts the gun barrel against the thing's chest as it's like rearing back. He shoves the gun under it and hisses some Sleeth malediction, and just you see this thing just kind of buck as it takes the bullet, and it's looking at its hand, narrows its eyes, rears back again. If these are people, they're very resilient. They must have some mutation, you're thinking. Okay. Numbers, you already made your attack. Barongo?
All right. Let's see. It's a 10.
It is a 10. That will miss.
Okay. Take the charge off.
Okay. Oh, wow. The sun actually hit. He fired an arrow at the lady in the robes who is waving the blaster rifle around. Jamie Dodgers, make your attack, please.
Alrighty. Here I go.
Come on.
Come on, Jamie. Come on, Jamie.
20.
What? That's I rolled a 6. Pretty sure that's pretty heroic fail.
Okay, yeah, you're trying not to get stabbed and trying to clear the shot for your robot buddy. So blast away with your robot buddy.
I'm trying to protect my face because I'm too pretty.
Go ahead and roll it.
And for Chuck?
Yeah, for Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck is firing it. All right, he's got. Yeah, Chuck must have wanted to make sure he didn't hit you again because, yeah, he cuts loose with a burst of slugs, and it sails over your shoulder and over their shoulder. Okay. She is firing at the youthful Sleeth. And let's see, that is a 12. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, very lucky. He kind of, it must be like his slithery, snaky ness, because he ducks just as she lines up and fires a shot off at him. The one meleeing numbers misses. Yeah, that's a miss. The one meleeing Barongo Let's see. Class 5. I'm sorry, what is Barongo's armor class again?
AC3.
AC3.
Yeah.
That is a miss. Jammy Dodgers. Ooh, I'm sorry. That is a hit. Jammy Dodgers, you take another 25 damage.
Oh.
Ooh, I am well into the negative now.
Okay, Jammy Dodgers is down and bleeding out. Are you less than -10? Let me ask you that.
Well, the first hit took me from 32 to 7, and then 25 from 7. So.
Oh yeah. Jammy Dodgers, you're trying to bring that weapon back into focus, and the last thing before everything goes black is this lunges forward with a blade. Your friend Jammy Dodger. Do what?
Can I yell "Avenge me, Chuck"?
Yes, you absolutely can, and you can you can use Chuck as your your proxy until or unless your friends can get you to a one of the revival beds or something. Okay. That finishes the round. Numbers, Rob, you may attack in the next round, and then we'll roll initiative.
All right. 10.
A 10 will... Wait, what class is your longsword?
That's a 3.
Sword, 3. 3. Yeah, no. He...
Man.
Again, kind of grabs your wrist. You're able to pull away from him, but your sword does not connect. Chuck the robot, I like that. Very quick to adapt. Thumbs up. Oh no! He didn't have to leave. Well, I guess we'll go back up to Kevin. Roll initiative, please. Oh, you guys have got it.
All right. I'm doing this in the Emerald channel, by the way.
That's fine.
All right. I got a 6.
Party will go first.
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay, Papa puts another 10 points of damage on this sucker MC. You guys have never quite seen this before, but apparently there's a mechanism for putting the weapon into battery, but Papa twirls the weapon around on his claw to get it to do that. There's this loud clack as he does it, and then fires it at point blank into this, hissing with anger. You have killed an ally. Soon your blood will wet the ground, dishonored one. Okay. Numbers already attacked. Kevin, attack.
I have a 12, weapon class 13.
Okay. 13. Oh, that absolutely hits. Ka-chow.
The bot didn't. Oh, that might be better if I did a D instead of a F.
There you go.
Still didn't take it. Let's try it again. Okay, 17, just slightly better than average.
Okay, yeah. You've blasted a couple of holes in this thing, and it's there's a smell you smelt before. It's kind of an acrid odor of burning cloth, but something else, something artificial. You know, that you don't see like great gouts of blood. They're dark stains on the robe, to be sure, but Okay, so that was Jammy Dodger. The kid hit with an arrow again. Counterattacks. We'll start with Numbers. Your foeman misses you.
Amazing.
Barongo, you are missed. The dice are on your side. And Chuck the robot. Oh, wait, did Chuck attack yet? Chuck hadn't attacked yet. Roll Chuck's attack.
Okay, now I even switched out 20-sided dice, so come on, Chuck.
Okay, come on.
Jammy, baby.
Avenge Jammy.
A 4. Yeah, that dice is going in the trash.
Okay. Punish it. All right. And against Chuck. That is a miss. So they had they had bad luck also.
It's all the radiation coming off of Chuck.
It must be. It must be. So yeah, new round. Numbers. Make your attack.
I'm never going to be able to kill this thing. I got a 18 though, so
That absolutely hits. That is 1 to 8.
6.
Okay, so that's a fair amount of damage you've done to it. You sort of slash it on its face, and just for a moment, when it like turns away, you see kind of a dull glint under its cheek, and it turns back to you. Now let's roll initiative, and Chuck the robot. A robot should be good at rolling initiative. Roll it.
You would think. You would think.
I would think.
A 1.
I am sorry. Okay, so we'll start back with the female. Once again, misses the kid. One fighting Papa Sleeth. Misses him. I'm trying that Gygaxian method of the D20 with 0 to 9 twice and the adjustment die.
I was playing around with that the other night.
You're using some threshold dice, huh?
Yes, threshold dice works absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that was a miss on Papa. Let's see. That is a let me see. What is Numbers armor class again? I'm sorry.
It's 4.
4. Let's see. Oh, just a miss. Just a miss. Rolled a 9.
Wow.
Rolled a 9. Okay. Barongo. Barongo's armor class is
It's 3.
3. Okay. Yeah, that an 11 just missed you. And finally, Chuck the robot. That is a 10. That is a class 5 weapon. What did we say? Did we say what Chuck's armor class was? Okay, we need to establish that. Let's see.
And also need to figure out his hit points.
All right. So security robotoids have their armor class 2 and have 72 hit points.
Okay. Got it.
But he cannot be healed.
Right.
When his hit points are gone, he's done.
Yeah, he's gonna go out like a no limit soldier. I thought I told you.
All right. So yes, that was a miss. A 10 would miss you entirely. Numbers, Rob. Make your attack. Spa.
Rex, damn you.
I'm in
This
love,
mission
Jim.
sucks.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
I rolled a 2.
That will not hit. Let's roll initiative, and we're back over to numbers. Rob, roll initiative, please.
2.
All right.
Now, why you gotta blow on them, Bill? Why you gotta do that?
Sorry.
The dice don't care.
It's the Lamia. She wants me to blow on them.
Mm.
She likes it.
It's the doppelganger behind. That's what it is.
Okay. So I go first. That is a miss on numbers. That is a miss on Barongo. That is a miss on Chuck. That is a miss on the youngling. Good Lord. And Papa Lizard Man. Oh, that is absolutely a hit on him. Yeah, he had been hit before. This may not be very good for him. Let's see.
Time to adopt a son.
We just have to figure out where we're going now.
Running?
Son and boots. I'm sorry, too soon. Let's see. I gotta see how many hit dice a Sleeth has. Oh, they've got 6. No, that's the Krentosh. I don't know why it would show me that. So if we average, that's let me just pop over here real quick. Pardon me a second.
It's okay. We'll
6 taken
entertain
50.
That's for sure.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain, but still alive. He is in a lot of pain, but still alive. And that completes their attacks. So Barongo, Chuck, and the dad, who misses, the lad, who also misses.
I got a 2, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's the missing round.
Okay. I am on my 3rd D20, Bill. Just letting you know. And Chuck rolled a 1.
Oh my.
That guy is also
Chuck's just like just blazing away.
He's like the old G.I. Joe cartoon. Shoots, but can't hit anything.
I'm picturing the scene from the Naked Gun TV shows. You guys are like 3 feet apart and blasting away with your guns.
He's a stormtrooper. That's what.
By the way, if you guys want a belly laugh after the show tonight, check out Police Squad Detroit Become Human. Somebody literally green screened in Leslie Nielsen from Police Squad into scenes from Detroit Become Human, and it is one of the funniest friggin' things I have seen in a long time. Okay, they shot at you guys and missed. You shot at them and missed. We go to another round. Remember, there was a mate and another youngling who have fled the scene. They are not nearby. So, who rolled initiative last? Gosh, I think it's Chuck the Robot's turn.
I think
I'm
taking
on
attack,
my.
right?
I'm on my.
Oh yeah. Numbers gets his attack first, though. Let him do that.
All right, I'll slash it across the chest plate or whatever. And miss horribly.
Okay. Now we go to initiative, and now it's Chuck the Robot's turn.
Chuck, please, for the love of all things shiny, Chuck, roll high. A 6.
All right, I'm gonna have my invisible Lamia here. French kiss the die for me. There you go, baby. Party goes first. Must have been a little wet. We'll start with Barongo. Blast this thing. You have done.
My God. I got a 2 again.
The robots are just kind of looking back and forth at each other.
Do laser pistols have retributive strike?
No.
Damn it!
How many rounds have you got left in your gun?
3. Don't worry, I'll only need 1 for myself.
Yeah, exactly. When I get down to the last one, if the robot's not still up, you'll need the 1. Oops, gave it away.
Just pull the mist and do us all.
Okay. Okay. I think that was a miss. So Chuck the robot, take your shot.
Okay,
Chuck the robot, take your shot. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
This is D20 number 4, Bill. Come on, Chuck. Roll high against Jimmy Dodger, Chuck. 19.
That'll hit. All right. And let's see. All right. So a slug thrower is going to be 3d6.
All right, here we go. Come on, Chuck.
Oh.
What are you doing, Chuck? Stop it. All right, here we go. 3d6, 12.
Okay, and you hadn't hit it before yet, had you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, yeah, you blast a hole in it, but hadn't you hit it before? Not with not with Chuck the robot, but with your character. I thought you had. I mean, it's still up. I just want to keep track of the damage. Okay, so it's taken 12. Numbers missed. They missed. So counterattacks. I was rolling them. That one was a miss, and 13. Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't like that uh-oh, Bill.
No.
All right, so the youngling cries out in pain as he takes some damage. The blaster rifle wielding individual pops him. He wasn't able to dance out of the way of that one. And the elder one hisses something at him, and he hisses something back, like, "Get down, you damn fool! No, Dad, I'm going to fight with you!" All right, new round. Numbers, make your attack.
Come on. 4.
No good. Initiative, though. Roll initiative for the party there. Numbers.
4.
Party goes first.
Woohoo!
Okay. Dad blows another big hole in this thing. Yeah, it's very clear you're not fighting living humans here. Barongo.
Yeah, I did a 9.
A 9 total. Let's see. I don't think that's going to hit. That's your laser pistol, correct?
That's correct. Class 13.
Class 13. Well. Yeah, no, sorry. Oh, wait. No, I was looking at that backwards. That hits. That actually does hit. I'm sorry. My mistake.
Okay, let's see what happens here. 20. That's a damn good result.
Okay, so 20 and... Yeah, you plug it right through where you think its heart should be. I mean, you're near a point blank range. It's rearing back to stab you again. Impassive face. And it kind of staggers forward and falls to the ground.
Roger, Roger.
Way to go,
Yeah,
Barongo!
it's not bleeding or anything, which is a little distressing. So Chuck the robot.
Here we go, Chuck. You did it once. Let's go for 2 in a row, baby. A 12.
A 12 will, let's see, class 10. Oh, just misses. You connect, but it bounces off an armor plate. So let's see. Is that everyone? Numbers attacked. So let's roll for Dad. He is firing his slug thrower. $17. That will hit her.
I wish this was a 4570.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, no, he's still fighting the one in front of him. Yeah, blows the side of its head off, and it drops.
Nice.
So there is the one with a blaster rifle, and she is climbing to her feet and starting to move backwards. And the two that are still in combat, she will fire at... She's going to fire at Barongo and miss. A slash attack against numbers will miss, and a slash attack against Chuck. 12, we said he is armor class what? Armor class 1?
2.
Armor class 2. That will just connect, so he takes 25 points of damage.
Woo, all right.
He just jams the sword in and just kind of melts through the metal slowly as he leans forward on it.
Sorry, he's got 47 left. Chuck's a tough old boy.
Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing in the next round? Is Numbers going to make an attack?
So 2 of them are down, right? Are those energy weapons still energized? And if so, are they within some sort of reach to where I could grab one of those?
Oh yeah, you can reach down and grab one of the vibro blades. Absolutely.
That's what I'd like to do, and attack with that.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's a thought that, of course, didn't occur to me until after Jamie went to the big scrapyard in the sky.
Yes.
Would Chuck, because he's a robot, would he have it in him to pick up the ancient finding stick and hit the off button pointing toward these metal things fighting us?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's anathema. That's like there's literally a hole in his vision where it cannot detect a control wand and wield it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. It's been 5 rounds. Okay. So you've now got a vibroblade. It is a class 5 weapon. It inflicts 25 points every time it hits. What is Barongo doing?
You know what? I'm going to do the same. I'm going to grab the vibroblade on the ground.
Okay.
Better consistent damage. Harder to hit, but better damage.
All right. And how about Chuck the robot? Just going to continue blasting on him?
Oh, absolutely. Chuck is going to avenge Jamie Dodger.
Numbers, you may make your attack.
Oh, come on. Oh man, what is that? A 6? A 6.
6. Oh. All right, then initiative, and I think Kevin, it is your turn, is it not?
Yeah, I got a 5.
Okay, it is a tie. The two non-organic being to the rear has jumped up and is turning and jogging towards the east, and the others are turning and fleeing. You may attack them at +4 if you wish to.
Okay.
Dad is absolutely taking a shot, so is Boy. Oh wow, he prangs one of them. It was the one that Chuck the robot had been fighting. A shot hits it straight in the back. It staggers forward a few more feet, falls to its knees, tries to get up again, and it just falls face down. You guys go ahead and do your thing. Sun will shoot at Ladybot and miss. Anyone else? Anyone else attacking? You're attacking at +4.
Chuck is going to shoot at Ladybot. Come on, Chuck. Yeah, 3. I don't think he does anything.
Okay. How about Barongo?
Are they out of my range now that I have unfortunately picked up the vibroblade?
No, not at all.
Okay, then I'm absolutely attacking. I'm going to attack the one that was running away from numbers.
Okay.
Right. Or no, was Chuck the only one?
No, there was oh wait, yeah, it would be Chuck, because the one that was running away from numbers just got shot in the back.
Right. But the one that okay, good. All right, got it. That's the one. I got a 14, so I think I hit.
Nice.
That will hit, yes.
Right.
Actually, I got that wrong, but it doesn't matter. So
that's the other way around. Same target though.
Same.
I guess it's 25 damage. It's
25 damage. That is correct. You slash it across the back, and how about numbers? Oh, you already.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could still.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 15. How about that? I had to switch dice.
+4. Yeah, with a +4, that hits. That's another 25 points of damage. And between the two of you, you just kind of hack it to pieces. And there's kind of a pale pinkish white fluid in very little quantity on the ground, and some clear tubing and other non-human innards scattered on the ground. And the leader has sprinted far away.
I have a question.
Yes?
Is Numbers and Barongo now Jedi? And if so,
they don't have they don't. I'm sorry, they don't have telepathy and they don't have telepathy or empathy or telekinesis. So no,
I definitely don't have empathy at all.
I got apathy.
I have apathy. Yeah.
You're not an empath.
That's right.
Okay, so the vibro weapons, using them, I mean, they're just weapons. They spring to life when you pick them up. There's like a button that is on and off. It's not, I'm not going to make you guys make brain rolls to figure those out. They have a socket in the bottom that apparently some kind of cylindrical power cell fits into. based on what you can tell from the light on the handle, these will run 15 more minutes. That's all of them, because you've got a total of 4. And each one of these androids had 2 additional ones. Each fresh cell runs the vibroblades for 20 minutes, or if it helps you, 20 combat rounds.
Okay.
So these are frighteningly effective melee weapons.
So I have 3 of those because I had one already. Nice. I guess so there's 4 vibroblades?
Yes, there are 4 vibroblades.
Okay, so Chuck doesn't have a vibroblade, right?
No.
Chuck does not have a vibroblade, no.
Is it too scary to give Chuck a vibroblade?
That's up to you guys. That's up to you guys to decide whether or not you want the robot, which can be reprogrammed, could go haywire, whatever, to have a 25 damage vibro weapon that it can plug into its internal power supply.
So just asking for a friend. Is he ambidextrous?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a robot.
Effectively, the robot has no problem with that.
Okay. That's just a thought, because we have 2 vibroblades.
Right.
Yeah.
Or we could take the cells out of one of them or something, right? I mean, we could take the cell out of one of them, and then we have 2 cells times 4, because each one had 2 cells.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got, all total, there are 8 additional full charge batteries. I got them listed as, and then 12 batteries that have 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay. I say we give one to Chuck. Apparently, we're going to need it.
All right. Chuck is able to install that into a socket on his robot arm and is able to wield it now.
Okay, let me write down vibro. Is it a vibro blade?
Yes, it's a vibro blade.
Okay. You know, just talking out loud, I hope nobody forgets to loot Jimmy Dodger's body. That'd be a shame if they forgot to do that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. You know, I don't
She's
know if we
definitely
can
next.
take you back.
So the other Sleeth have come back, and they observe Jamie lying there on the sand, and after tending to his youngling's injuries, he shuffles over and says, "A proud warrior was your friend of the Sleeth, a good human. Long may he sleep in the earth." And he hisses and clicks something at the others, and they very quickly dig a shallow grave if you wish to put Jamie Dodger in it.
Chuck just salutes the grave and says, "Roger, Roger."
Lord.
And we can't get back to that revival station or whatever with this guy.
You could. I mean, it's probably from where you're at, it would be let me see. It'd be about 8 hours. But you could potentially get there.
I leave that to Baronga.
No, I think that's a good thing for us to do. I think we should.
Agree.
I mean, we have another purpose, but we could delay for a little bit, right? I mean, we talked
It's
to the
not too
Steve and
long.
see if there's something special that we have to worry about, right? Because we're just pulling these guys.
Speaking of robots, you went kind of robotic on us there, Kevin.
Oh, okay.
There you are. Much better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so we're helping the Sleeth, right? So we'll try to figure out if they can wait, or if it's urgent, like beyond one of our friends' death urgent, that we continue.
You have saved the Sleeth's lives twice now. They're like, what do you need us to do?
Well, I think we may have a way to save our friend here if we don't delay. Right? I guess is that
Yeah,
is that
it basically it has to be used within 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think we'll tell them that we have a way of maybe healing or helping him if we go straight back to our base.
Okay.
And then I guess we start doing that. Right?
Right.
Roger.
Okay. Okay, so there's a little hitch about the life ray that I was not aware of, and that is that I mentioned this before, and I can't remember if it was after we had finished a previous session and I hadn't discussed this in the stream, but a life ray, the character keeps all of their knowledge. Like, you don't have to, like, oh, you used to know how to use a blaster rifle, but now you've been through the life ray, so you have to learn again. But stats, like your 6 stats, you have to re-roll those, and you have to re-roll your hit points and so on. Because if you think the life ray essentially is the gamma rolled equivalent of the machine from the 6th element, or the 5th element rather, where it basically breaks you down and then redraws you.
Right.
So you will be re-rolling stats, but your character will otherwise be the same.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
and there's
with Bronco, remember? So
that, yes.
Yep.
Just making that clear to everyone. So an 8-hour journey overland. An 8-hour tour. Oh wow, this is awesome. So you're hustling as quickly as you can. Chuck the robot has no problem carrying your deceased friend. That load is not a problem. In fact, Chuck the robot can go faster. If you just want to send Chuck ahead, he can go like 96 kilometers an hour. Chuck can literally go at like 50 miles an hour and get there in an hour and leave the rest of you guys having to go across land if that's what you want to do.
You know, there's something to that. The only thing is he won't have our assistance if he has encounters. But if he can steamroll, right? Maybe he could just run right by.
Yeah, I mean,
order period.
Forrest Gump it. He only gets one encounter opportunity or whatever instead of 8.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have him just ignore whatever you encounter, there's a chance that it would not attack him,
right?
But just you guys.
Yeah, splitting the party.
Always a great idea.
Yeah, it's the best of times. Well, maybe we should just stick together, right? Because I mean, 24 hours, 8 hours isn't too much of a delay, right? We could get derailed a little bit, and it's still going to be okay.
As long as we don't die.
Yeah, I think so.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But if we die, then you know.
Just the last human alive tell Chuck, if I die, pick us up and carry us back to base.
There you go. That's the directive. Yep.
And Chuck can be Chuck the ambulance robot. And I would imagine a little siren would pop out of his head, and it would have the Ghostbusters wee-oo,
I think more like Ad 209, with the rotating red and blue lights. But anyway, so as you're going along, about 3 hours into your journey, the Sleeth notice at first, the head of the Sleeth clan, and he points at the sky and says, "Ah, look there, something to trouble us." And there are these giant creatures gliding on the late afternoon thermals. And there are these like rainbow colored creatures that must have 8-10 meter wingspan. And there's 3 of them. They're just kind of circling and gliding. They're pretty high up, but they don't seem to be diving to attack you or anything.
I knew it was coming from the sky. Can we hide?
You're kind of in open land. There's some boulders around.
I'd like to hide behind one of those as quickly as possible.
Okay, how about Barongo?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking some kind of cover if I can.
How about Chuck?
Are they ordering Chuck to
Yes.
to take cover? Okay, then
Take
Chuck's
cover!
taking cover.
All right, Chuck, you can roll behind a little dip in the ground. The Sleeth drop to the ground and kind of just shimmy in the dust. Wow. Okay, yeah. Like, you think maybe the earth swallowed them up because they just drop to the ground and you see like dust puff up.
They're like a flounder.
Yeah. It's just like,
Okay.
I basically used AD&D hide in shadows rules for them because I figured they're lizard like, they can, and like 12, 2, 2, 8
Nice.
for their hide in shadows. So yeah, the Sleeth just disappear in front of you. Let's see. Oh yeah. So these things begin to kind of wheel down to where you are. And they're about 3 meters tall. They amble kind of clumsily as they're walking around. Their wings are orange and fur-lined when they're outstretched. And atop their long necks, there's a lion-like head. And they have huge mandibles. And one of them, let's see. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3. One of them runs right over to Chuck and ducks down behind the boulder that Chuck is ducked behind. And the others are kind of looking around. Well, you're not sure if it's fearfully or not. But it looks at Chuck and says, "What are we hiding from, y'all?"
Okay. I guess they're friendly.
You don't know.
They've noticed Chuck.
Yes, they saw Chuck. Big shiny metal robot holding a dead body in his arms that just kind of rolled behind a boulder and is standing there. And he raises his head up on a flexible neck and yells to the others, "Take cover, y'all! The robot's hiding! Something terrible must be coming!" And the other two duck behind boulders. One behind Barongo's boulder, one next to Number's boulder. And the Barongo, the one, like, this thing's huge, okay? It is in no way hiding behind the boulder. It's like a couch trying to hide behind a sapling would be what it's doing, and it like almost knocks you down as it's like trying to scooch behind the boulder and says, "What are we hiding from?"
This is just a precautionary training exercise. We're really not hiding from anything. We're practicing hiding.
Oh, thank goodness. It's okay, y'all. They're just pretending. So these are Yexel. There's 3 Yexel. And they stand up and sort of shake the dust off their wings, and the Seath all hop up out of the dust, and they see them and say, "Well, howdy do, y'all." And they just they seem very, very friendly, and they've got little harnesses of wire and leather scraps around them. Where y'all going? What's going on? How y'all doing today?
We're actually, as you can see, the robot's holding one of our companions. He's greatly injured, and we're taking him back home so we can try to get him healed. It's about 5 hours away. Walking.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Actually, it sounds like y'all come from the same place.
What do y'all mean from the same place?
Our friend Jammy has a similar accent.
Oh, we didn't know no humans. We live way up in the rocks over yonder, and he kind of indicates vaguely to the north. We were just flying around looking for some cloth to eat. Rubs his belly with his wingtip.
Do we have cloth at the base?
Actually, Jammy has bits of cloth and tufts of fur on his person.
That aren't part of his clothing?
Correct. He also has buttons and zippers and bits of cloth and tufts of fur. Remember, he took that out of the nest.
Yeah.
That was in the building.
Right. Did he consider them? Do we know if he considered them special in any way?
He did not.
Okay. Well, I think maybe we can show them that stuff. Fair enough?
Works for me.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Chuck and say, hey, Chuck, we need to get some items out of Jammy's bag, satchel,
Out of
whatever he's
jammies.
using. His jammies.
All right. With his metal tentacles, Chuck just kind of shakes Jammy upside down by his ankles until everything in his pack just kind of scatters out on the ground in front of you.
Maybe we should rename the robot Bender. I'm not sure. Yeah. We'll gather the.
There's all kinds of crap on the ground now. Yeah. You had no idea that Jammy had like a near complete collection of 2672 baseball cards. I'm sorry, 2276 baseball cards. Just a couple of like boxes, just thump.
Aside from the cloth, we'll redeposit the other stuff back in
Okay.
Jammy's, I don't know, compartment, and we'll offer. Not the prison wallet, the compartment. So we offer the cloth components to the youth.
I've dropped F-bombs in this stream that I'm less likely to get demonetized for that than for that. Anyway, okay, so the Yexel, that's kind of like offering one pizza roll to three people to split. They're not so much offended by it as like, well, bless your heart.
Oh no.
And Chuck's from the South, so yeah. I mean Todd's from the South, so yeah. Well, bless your heart. There's two kinds of there's well, bless your heart, and then there's well, bless your heart, and this is the latter. Yeah, it's like oh, you poor thing.
There's one that trumps them all, and it's well, bless your little heart.
Bless your little heart. Yeah, this is not bless your little heart. Yeah, another favorite is we'll keep praying for you. we'll keep praying for you. Jesus still loves you. We'll keep praying for you. So yeah, they gratefully accept the offer of tiny scraps of cloth to them. And it's, it's like, can you help us? Here's a Tic Tac for each of you. But they're predisposed to be friendly to you since you didn't try and kill them. And the lizard men are once again in the Seath are once again in awe of your ability to make nice with the flying cloth eaters as they think at you of them. So what is it? Whatever can we do for y'all?
Well, so can you carry people while you're flying? People being like us. The group of us?
Well, no offense, but the robot friend of yours is too heavy.
Yeah.
And there's just three of us, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 of y'all. Well, 8. Your sick friend there. I don't think he's going to get any better, by the way.
I think we have that covered. We have ways that will help, but I understand.
Okay, well, we can carry some of y'all.
Aren't there only 3 of us that matter?
Yeah, that gets you a gimlet eye from the patriarch there.
Yeah.
Every time Bill speaks in the Southern accent, all I can see in my mind is the vulture guardsman from Disney's Robin Hood.
I've told you I'm from Alabama, so I mean the Southern accent is not fake nor forced on my part. It just got my voice just got hammered flat by living in Florida for the past 42 years of my life. It just, it's polyglot. I know people from all over, and it just the Southern is mostly gone. But I can bring it back when I have to. One of the reasons my wife hates it when college football starts because I watch Alabama football games and it comes back.
Well, bless your little heart.
Well, bless you. Bless your heart too. We'll keep praying for you. So yeah, they can carry 3 of you back to the stronghold, but the rest will have to leg it.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think our robot friend can carry, right, Jammy, but
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel. I mean, we kind of offered the Sleeth some, what would you call it, hospitality, and leaving them in the lurch out here kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Could Chuck carry another somebody with? If somebody wouldn't mind riding with the dead guy, could Chuck carry another person? Like the little Sleeth?
They'd be he would be slowed, but yeah.
Like maybe put him on my shoulders, like Master Blaster style.
Yeah.
What about what do you guys have to do for the next 5 hours? Can you
fly looking for stuff to eat?
Okay, well, I mean, if you just happen to continue looking for something to eat going the way we're going, and kind of look around to tell us when stuff's maybe problematic for us in our path.
Well, okay, that sounds fun. We can do that. Sure.
Kind of scout from the sky.
Okay.
To give us some maybe early warning, if possible.
Good idea.
Do you what kind of stuff do you generally see out here that isn't friendly?
Oh, there's beetles that breathe fire. There's robots that tear people apart, and they scream and cry the whole time it's happening, and it just makes them do it slower and meaner. There's plants that teleport their babies inside of you. There's just plain looking people, but they're just mean. They're just mean to everybody.
So do you think you can look for those kind of things? Just to let us know? Because, I mean, if they're friendly, we still want to know. But if they're not friendly, we want to know more.
All right. Okay.
And that way
is there any preference? Do you want to know sooner if the pulling apart robots or the mean people or the robots that look like people but are mean too, or the bugs that breathe fire, or the plants that the plants that try and teleport their baby seeds into you?
Let's just say that anything that's unusual, we'd want to know right away.
All right.
Right. And then
you're getting a very Monty Python wedding guard vibe from these guys. Stay here and watch him. Oh, you mean him? It'd be a bit silly guarding him and him a guard and all.
She's got huge tracts of land.
Okay. Yep. So you've made your travel arrangements, and we come to the 2-hour mark. So the Yexel will be your seeing eye, your eyes in the sky, your drones, your recon drones, as you guys try and return to the stronghold and use the life array on Bubba and see if you can get him brought back from the dead.
Absolutely.
So thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I hope you had a lot of fun. Again, I'm thinking we will probably continue the Gamma World live stream until October, and then we'll get spooky. And the consensus in the audience tonight seemed to lean towards Call of Cthulhu. If you want to see that, if you want to leave a comment in the comments below the video saying yay or nay, I know I don't follow up on them as often as I should, but I do read every comment that people leave. You can join us on our Discord. I've already linked the Discord. Don't even start with me, Todd. So you can leave a comment on the Discord, or if you leave a comment, sorry, it's on this side. If you leave a comment in the comment section, I will see it pop up and take your vote accordingly. I know there was some enthusiastic, yes, we want to play COC, but that was a few people. It was a vociferous and sudden few yeses. But if I get 30 or 40 people saying, no, please keep playing Gamma World, then Gamma World will play, because I am here to listen to what the masses want. So thank you, everyone, for stopping by tonight. Please click that subscribe button. Click that bell icon for notifications. Leave a thumbs up if you like it. Give me a thumbs down and tell me why in the comments below if you don't. I have been your host this evening. These have been our players. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you all on Monday. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.